Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm very excited to talk to you about my recent journey with the app NOOM. NOOM is a weight loss program that can help you change your mindset and your habits around food. I've been on a lot of different diets. I don't really even consider NOOM a diet. I feel like it is helping me change my lifestyle. I should probably say right from the get-go that this won't be a super technical review. I've been on NOOM since February 3rd of 2023, and today is April 16th. So I guess February, March, April. I've been on it about 2.5 months, and I have lost 12 pounds. So I just wanted to talk to you about my journey. I'm also doing it alongside my husband, who reached his goal like 5 weeks ago. He is now being very successful on maintenance. I feel like sometimes we should call this nudge, because I feel like NOOM nudges me to make better choices on a daily basis. The 3 components, in my opinion, that help me to be successful is that I weigh myself every day, I log the food that I eat, and I do a little bit of reading every day. They give you these little coins, and it's like split into 3 sections. Each time you complete one of the 3 things that I just mentioned, the coin pops up and shows that you've filled in that area and the ideas that you want to fill in your coins every single day. I admittedly have had many days where all day I'm like, I gotta read, and then I forget to read, and the next day I wake up and I'm like, damn it, I forgot my coin last night. My husband never missed a day. He is like Mr. Consistent, and I want to mention my husband throughout this video because I think it's been really interesting, because we're such different types of people and how we approach things, and it's worked for both of us. Now, I don't think that this is an end-all be-all. I've read some reviews that say weighing yourself every day can be triggering for people who may struggle with eating disorders. Please consult your doctor if you have any concerns with your own personal health before doing any weight loss program. But for me, weighing myself every day has been key. I am coming from many years on and off of doing Weight Watchers. And one of the things that I found helped me be successful on Weight Watchers was the accountability of weighing in every single week. But what happened with me was that I would weigh in at Weight Watchers, and then there was a time where I was doing it from home, so I would weigh in at home. But say my weigh-in was Monday morning, I would not do well or behave or stay on program like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the weekend would roll around and I'd think, oh my goodness, I have to weigh in soon, I better get back on track. And then I would try to play catch up so that my weigh-in on Monday would reflect a loss. The thing about weighing myself every day is I've kind of embraced the fact that the scale does not go like this. It is a jagged line all the way down. And I've kind of gotten to the place after doing it every single day for 2.5 months that I'm almost like expecting a gain on many days. And it's not like massive weight gain. It could be 0.8 of a pound. It could be a pound. It could be 0.2 of a pound. Sometimes it's minimal. Sometimes it stays the same for a couple days and then it will drop. But what it has done, it's made me not dread the scale. So I find that helpful for me to weigh myself every day because it keeps me honest. And you weigh yourself very first thing in the morning. So it's very consistent. You weigh yourself on the same scale. That part I really enjoy. And I think it's nice to see the progress. And I think on days where I may gain a couple days in a row, or I may stay the same, or I may have a really super day and then it doesn't show up on the scale, I think seeing the graph of it gradually going down is very rewarding to me. The other component is logging food. Another thing that was similar, something I've done before with Weight Watchers, and I always found when I was logging food, I was much more successful. Even if I was gonna log that I had 3 slices of pizza, half a bag of Doritos, a Diet Coke, and an ice cream for dessert, if I log it, somehow it gives me a fresh start. You rip off the Band-Aid, you log it, and you move on the next day. So what NOOM does is it gives you like a calorie range, It's a very, very lengthy questionnaire that you fill out in the beginning. And I like that because I feel like it's really getting to know me by filling out a lot of questions: my age, my weight, my lifestyle. My profession is that I am a full-time reseller and I create videos on YouTube. So a lot of my time I spend thrifting, but I also spend a lot of time editing videos. So I sit a lot, and that was information that they wanted in the questionnaire. And then once you give all the information, it gives you a calorie range that you want to stay within each day. And then they break food down into green, yellow, and orange foods, which I personally really liked. I am a very unstructured person. So for me, I've never really counted calories in my life because I've done Weight Watchers the most. I've counted points, which is a form of counting calories, but assigning points to it instead of calories. Generally speaking, I've never counted calories. And I think that has been interesting for me, for somebody who's almost 50 and for someone who has been on many diets. I haven't really counted calories much in my life, and I think that has been beneficial to me as well. And to get back to the nudge theory, it doesn't tell you you can't eat this, but it will recommend, you want to eat more green foods. You should have a certain percentage of your foods come from green foods each day, and then a certain percentage from yellow foods and orange foods. My understanding was that at some point in NOOM's development, they had green, yellow, and then red foods, and that was kind of triggering for some people, and they took away red foods and they made it an orange food so that, nothing is off limits. And I really love that about NOOM, especially when I think in terms of something that I can do for the rest of my life. To circle back to my husband, sorry, I should have also said this is going to go in no particular order. To circle back to my husband, he has no problem losing weight. He is like a light switch. When he decides he wants to do something, he is so disciplined. It's kind of nauseating, but so disciplined. He can lose weight anytime. But he's also a black and white thinker. So when he's losing weight, he gets to his goal weight really fast. He's super disciplined. But then when he gets there, the light turns off and then he eats whatever he wants. So my husband has spent a life, and he is not overweight by any stretch, but he has spent his life being super disciplined, exercising, dieting, reaching his weight, and then he gets there, and then over months, depending on what's going on in our lives at the time, he'll gain the weight back. But he's never really been overweight, but he does play with the same 10 or 15 pounds for like the past 20 years. And his goal with NOOM was to be able to maintain. He's like, I know I can lose the weight, whatever. He's like, but once I get to the weight, I want to be able to maintain it and not just go back to old habits. So Jay is spending most of his time in maintenance. And when you input all of your information, so whatever, Jay wanted to lose like 14 pounds. He went on a couple weeks before me, and he was done by the end of March. So he was only on the program for maybe 6 weeks. When I put in that I wanted to lose 50 pounds and my age and weight and lifestyle, Jay also gets a ton more steps in every day on our Fitbit. He puts me to shame. He can't sit still. But all that factors into his calorie allotment every day. So for me, when I put all my information in about NOOM, it said that I was going to take maybe 6 months to lose my weight. I think I'm supposed to reach 50 pounds in the very end of September or early October. So I pay $6 a week for mine. Jay paid a little bit more. I don't know if it was because he wasn't going to be on the program as much. I really don't know how the sliding scale works for your payment, but I'm paying $6 a week, and that will be through the end of September. I don't know where it goes from there. Once I go into maintenance, how it will work, I have no idea. But I know that with Weight Watchers, I used to pay $10 to $12 every week. And I would keep my membership going for months and months thinking, I'm gonna weigh in on Monday. And then I wouldn't weigh in, and I'd say, I'm gonna keep this membership because if I don't keep my membership, then I'll really fall off the wagon. So why don't I just keep paying the $12 a week because that will mentally keep me in check. And it never really worked that way. And I ended up spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on Weight Watchers, which works, by the way. I'm not knocking Weight Watchers at all. I think Weight Watchers is a great program if you do it, if you show up to the meetings and do what you're supposed to do. And I wasn't doing that. And the third piece of NOOM that kind of is in place of those weekly meetings of Weight Watchers is the daily reading. I would get all my information at Weight Watchers once a week. They'd hand me a packet, which would go in my bag, you know, with literature to read, and I wouldn't necessarily read it. Weight Watchers made a ton of improvements with having an online app. They have a great community, but for me, it's that daily, everyday stuff. Weighing every day, logging every day, and reading every day that keeps it on my mind, even if I'm having a tough day. So you can decide how much you want to read every day. I started by reading like 5 to 8 minutes every day, and it's, you know, animated, and it's easy reading, and it's very digestible, and they give it to you in little small servings. And so I really enjoy the way that they give their information, and it's stuff that you want to think about. There are lessons on what to do when you plateau. There are lessons on how to make your plate more appealing, on putting away electronics when you eat. A lot of it is common sense stuff, but some of it is stuff that I didn't think about. Some of it is science. A lot of it is research. They say that they are psychologists. They reference a lot of articles, and I can't speak to how true that is. I have seen some reviews of NOOM say, you know, this wasn't started by psychologists, it was started by engineers. I don't know. All I know is that I enjoy the reading, and I think the reading helps me. And one of the things that I really love about NOOM is that they let you schedule treat days. They are very much into, we're not taking anything away from you, because the second we take it away from you, that's what you're going to obsess over. That rings really true with my personality. The second somebody says you can't have carbs, you can never have a slice of pizza again, or just things that are just overly structured, I fall apart. Because as much as my husband lives in black and white land, I live in the gray area for so many things. I think that's part of my problem. I like so many things. Everything can work if I, you know, look at it the right way. And with eating, sometimes there are things I want to say no to on certain days, and other things that I should eat more of. They talk about, you know, putting vegetables, fresh vegetables and fruit out on your countertop so that so that it's there and it looks good, that you want to grab it every day. One of the things that I've really latched onto with NOOM is, I think they call it routinization, which I'd never heard of that word, but basically it means establishing a routine. One of the things that I eat every single day is, or almost every single day, is a 60-calorie Chobani yogurt with a sliced banana or sliced up berries, and a couple tablespoons of dry oats, or about a quarter of a cup of cooked oats, and I'll sprinkle some cinnamon on top of it. I love that breakfast. Sometimes I'll have it for lunch if I'm on the go in the morning, or if I just have time for a couple hard-boiled eggs in the morning, I'll eat that for lunch. But that's something I eat almost every single day. I also take 45 calories every day for my Coffee Mate sugar-free vanilla flavored creamer, which I would love to get off of, because that's an orange food, because it's got chemicals and it's all that stuff. That's kind of one of my guilty pleasures, but that's something I'm working on, maybe moving away from, maybe just putting almond milk in my coffee, because that's something that every day when I log those 45 calories in my orange zone, I think, you know, I could be doing something that's yellow or green, and then save up those orange calories for something more decadent. But anyway, I've been really enjoying learning about myself, learning about my habits. It's been really fun to have a partner do it with me, even though Jay is so far ahead. He's been super encouraging. And even with his maintenance, one of the things that he's trying to work on is not going back to like the pizza and the salami and provolone sandwiches and things like that, but maybe adding little things. Like, one of Jay's way of consuming an enormous amount of calories is he loves to eat like mixed nuts, and he buys like these ridiculously big containers, and it's a way for him to get a lot of protein. But it's very easy to rack up the calories when you're eating nuts, because they're high in fat, they're high in calories. So now at night he'll have like a little, like it's about the equivalent of a quarter of a cup, maybe it's a half a cup now that he's on maintenance. And Jay loves a glass of red wine at night. We also found wine that was like half the carbs, half the calories. Prior to being on maintenance, he'd have like 1 glass of the low calorie wine and no nuts. Now that he's on maintenance, he'll have the nuts and maybe 2 glasses of wine. So he's not going crazy, but he's adding calories in a healthy way, but still kind of monitoring what he's eating. And I think on maintenance, they say that if you're 5 pounds plus or minus your goal weight, which you set, by the way, I'm the one who chose what I wanted my goal weight to be. It's very open-ended, but it's also structured. I guess that's how I can describe it. That's why I like it. You can also schedule free days where they don't want you to track everything. They said they don't want you to be like obsessed with the app. The goal is for you to be able to kind of take some of the things that you're learning and the habits you're creating and just go on in your life with it. So you get to schedule, I mean, I'll call it a cheat day. It's not a cheat day. It's just a day where you're not tracking. So you could eat a couple slices of pizza, go through the drive-through, or have that piece of cake at a party. My husband and I both scheduled a free day basically where we don't record anything on Easter because we knew we were going home. I actually weighed myself that morning and I had a good weight loss, and I said maybe I shouldn't have recorded my weight because I'm gonna gain tomorrow because I ate so much. But I chose, even on a day that I didn't have to, I chose to record a couple of things. My dad recently passed away, and it was, I don't know, the day before he passed away in March or the day of, where obviously I wasn't tracking things. I wasn't monitoring what I was eating. And then the next day, Noom popped up and just said, do you want to take one of your banked days since you didn't track anything yesterday? And I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. I thought you had to like plan the days, but they'll pop up every once in a while. A little palm tree comes up on the app and says, you've earned a free day. I wish I knew the real term for it. Would you like to use it today or save it? And so I'll press save. So I have like 6 or 7 free days like banked. So in the event that I didn't, because I was relatively new to the app, I didn't know what was going to happen. I just thought none of my coin would just be empty because I didn't fill anything in. It said, do you want to just wipe yesterday out and we'll just call it a free day? And I was like, sure, that's great. So I liked that a lot. And then you're going through a course. So it has this little guy, and you know, you're like a Noom newbie, and then you're like a scholar, and then you're like, it kind of brings you through this path because you're doing different lessons along the way. I don't know. I feel like I've rambled so long already. I have really, really enjoyed it. It feels very doable for me. I'm on my phone all day anyways because of what I do for work. So it's in my hand, but I am noticing that I'm very ADD sometimes, which is also true in my personality. Like I'll know that I've logged my weight and I've logged my meals for the day, but I haven't done the reading. And I'll say all day long, I gotta do my reading, I gotta do my reading. I'll say to Jay, oh my gosh, I have to sit down and do my reading. I bring my phone to bed and stare at my phone before I fall asleep. I gotta do my reading. And I can't tell you how many times I still forget to do my reading. Jay is so disciplined. He does his reading while he's drinking his coffee, and he like walks around the island while he reads. I'm like, of course you do. But he weighs himself right away. Even if I weigh myself, I don't put it into my app right away. Sometimes I just weigh myself and I just know what it is and I enter it later. Jay like has it right on the counter in the bathroom. He enters his weight, he goes downstairs, he makes his coffee. While he's drinking his coffee, he like walks around the island, gets some steps in, and then he does his lesson. And then he just has to log his points. Maybe I'll get there someday. Maybe that's part of the behaviors that I will change. But we laugh because our personalities are so different, and that's why I keep mentioning what's working for him, because depending on who's watching this, I'm sure not everybody's going to relate to what I'm saying. Maybe you'll relate a little bit to what Jay is saying or how he's working this program. Oh, another cool thing is when you exercise. I want to say that they give you 50% back of the calories that you burned on your daily allotment. So I believe I start every day, my range is like 1,340 calories up to, is it 500? Maybe up to like 1,900. That's my range. And I'm usually in that like 1,400 or 1,500 calorie range per day. But then if I exercised, and it syncs up with my Fitbit, which is so cool. So as long as, sometimes I haven't updated my Fitbit, and I'll go into the app and I'll just refresh the screen so it updates, and then it will just filter right into my NOOM app. So yesterday, for example, my friend came over and she made this feta cheese dip that was so delicious, and I knew I was going to be having a glass of wine, or actually I ended up having 2 high noons, which were 100 calories each. So I knew it was going to be an extra calorie day. So I went for an extra walk with my dog, and I was doing shipping for my business, and I was like running up and down the stairs, and I was making it a point to burn some calories. So I ended up with like 1550 as my bottom range, and it went up to like 2150. I think it's a 600 calorie range. I don't know. There's a range. So you can earn calories by exercising, but they don't even really encourage you to do hardcore exercising. They encourage you to just move more. And my Fitbit is also another component to this puzzle that is really encouraging for me. So yesterday I earned 200 calories because I think I had 9,000 steps yesterday. Jay's over 10,000 steps every day. But I have probably only hit 10,000 steps like 2 or 3 times in 8 weeks. And I realized I had a lot going on in February and March with my dad's illness. And now the weather's nice. We have a puppy. I'm outside more. So it's just been much better for me. It's been much easier for me to get those steps in. And that's kind of encouraging as well. So I'm sorry that I went on for so long. I'm sure I missed some stuff. I'm sure some of the information I gave wasn't exact, but I just wanted to give you a general feel. I talked a little bit about the price, the questionnaire, the coins that you earn each day, the reading, the weighing every day, the variety of food that you can eat, the treat days, maintenance. Yeah, I hope I covered enough for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I do plan to do more content around NOOM as I move through my journey. When I started this channel, if you look back into the beginning of this channel, I do have a second channel that's all about thrifting and reselling. And I started this channel to do more of my lifestyle, my passion, my hobbies, which is a lot around journaling. Recently, fountain pens I've really been loving. So you'll see a lot of my earlier videos to this video. Probably the past 5 have been about fountain pens and journaling. I like to do some luxury handbag content, share some family recipes, whatever, anything goes on this channel. But when I did start it, I began it going to Weight Watchers, and I planned on sharing with you my journey on Weight Watchers, and I just didn't stick with it. So this time I wanted to make sure I was doing NOOM. Now it's been over 12 weeks before I got on here and said that I was going to create content about it or talk about it. I don't know how much content with recipes and stuff that I'll be doing here, but I'll do check-ins occasionally and let you know how I'm doing. I believe I will have a link for NOOM if you want to give it a try. I am not affiliated with NOOM in any way, but I think they might have an affiliate program or at least some sort of a code I can give you to start. Yeah, this is not sponsored. This is completely just what I'm feeling. And yeah, so far so good. So I will give you updates. Let me know in the comments if you've tried NOOM, if you've had success with it. What are the pros that you see? What are the cons? I'm sure it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect, but it's working really well for me right now. And I look forward to, you know, a healthier lifestyle in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I'll be back real soon with another video. All right, everybody, take care. Wishing you all the best on your health journey and beyond. Bye, everyone.